Straight ahead, it's Georgia High School football under the lights of the Borough as a reloaded Statesboro offense rumbles with rival Liberty County. It's the Blue Devils battling the Panthers in a Thursday night throwdown. And we've got it all right now. You're watching the Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week.
The sun is setting. The scene is perfect. It's right around 70 degrees, and it's perfect for football. High school football on the Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week. The two 5-1 football teams, Liberty County from Hinesville coming into the Borough to take on the Statesboro Blue Devils, also a 5-1 football team, and we are ready here with the Honda pregame show. Once again, my name's Ken Slatz with WSAV TV. Stephen Weeks joins me for tonight's broadcast. Stephen's been a writer here in Savannah for the Savannah Morning News and a contributing writer for 15 years now. And Stephen, it's so great to have you in a broadcast here on a Thursday night. And we look at a couple of teams that are 5-1 teams and ready to go at it, doing battle on a Thursday night.
Thank you, Ken. First region game for both of these teams. Big game on paper. They look like the two favorites in this region. And I think we should see an exciting game in a literally perfect night for football. Yeah,
can't get any picture perfect without a doubt. And we're going to talk about Liberty County first. You know, this is a football team that's 5-1, maybe hasn't had a rough road as Statesboro, but they got a player you want to talk about, Daquan McMillan for sure, one of the class of our area.
Yeah, you know, Ken, I think what you're looking at here is a player versus a program. Daquan McMillan's being recruited by every top 25 program in the country, Oregon, Auburn, Georgia, Alabama. Everybody wants this kid, and he is the guy that can change a game with one play. So I think that's what, obviously, they're going to depend on him a lot tonight to take on a host of talented players out of Statesboro.
A couple other ones to mention are the likes of USC West out in California,
sure.
USC,
That's right.
North Carolina State, Texas. You know, we mentioned Southern Cal. This kid, he indeed has all the talent to be a game changer.
You fall asleep on him defensively. He can get to the quarterback. He's had several plays this year where he sacked the quarterback, caused a fumble, and running in for a touchdown in all three aspects. So they definitely have to keep their eye on Daquan.
Our keys of the game brought to you by your Metro Savannah Honda Dealers Association. For those Liberty County Panthers, you got to win the turnover battle, which Statesboro has won every single year, every single game they nearly play. That's key for Liberty County.
Absolutely. On the road, a big game for both the teams. Obviously, with TV, with us being here, there's probably going to be some extra juice. You can't give up an interception or fumble for a touchdown early. Especially
with a Statesboro team who can run the clock. They know how to do that really
Absolutely.
well. Great special teams, always a key in a game that's going to be a tight possession-type battle. And don't give up that key play, which I think kind of goes hand in hand with win that turnover battle.
You know, you'd have to think Liberty County's a little bit of an underdog just given the program history of Statesboro versus the program history of Liberty County. What you want to do as an underdog is keep it close as long as possible, continue to believe, have faith that you can win the football game. If you get in the second half and you're close, which is going to require not giving up a big play, that's when you see upsets.
All right, Steve, we're going to be right back after this break, and we'll talk about the Statesboro Blue Devils as they try to go to 6-1. There's your Liberty County Panthers getting set. You're watching the Honda pregame show on the WSAV My LC Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week. Welcome back to the Honda pregame show on the WSAV Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week. Stephen Weeks, I'm Ken Slatz with WSAV TV. We're here in the Borough, Statesboro, as the Blue Devils getting set to host the Liberty County Panthers. We're going to head out to midfield and see the color guard and listen to our national anthem right now. The Statesboro Blue Devils band, brand new uniforms, I've been told, coming out and doing a great job with today's national anthem. Stephen Weeks, I'm Ken Slatz, as we told you. And now we're going to talk a little bit about Statesboro, a team that's 5-1. They're one loss to Burke County, but this is a team that is kind of been the same. They're a balanced team. They run a wishbone, which we really don't see a whole lot of, but Coach Pennington has built what I always like to say, there are teams and there are programs, and this is a program at Statesboro.
I totally agree with you, Ken. This is a program. They've won. They're averaging 10 wins in the 2000s. Just about everywhere you can chalk up 10 wins for Statesboro, and what they need to do probably, Ken, is just play the game they always play, slow the game down, run the clock, run the football, and you know what they do is choke out other teams. I mean, that's how it works.
I like to call it almost a monotonous type game.
Absolutely.
You know, they control the football, they control the clock. This is a team, indeed, that just doesn't make any mistakes.
That's right. Absolutely. That's how.
Our focus is, again, execution. Bottom line, we've got to be focused on what we're doing and ourselves, not get caught up in the lights and excitement, and we have players who are making plays, but the biggest thing is the makeup of our team from the standpoint of that we have good players who play great rather than great players who play good.
Good players who play great, great players who don't just play good. I got to tell you, the Honda keys to the game here for Statesboro, nothing really elaborate, Stephen. I mean, it's just control the line of scrimmage. That's just all they want to do. It's simple as that.
Well, you know, don't let this boring style of play confuse you or fool you. Right. They have terrific athletes on both sides of the ball. They do every single year. They send kids to Division I programs every year to play college football. So they've got good athletes. They're going to try to wear you down, be bigger, stronger, faster, and smarter.
Just like Coach Warner on Liberty County, Coach Pennington, that special teams is sometimes an underrated aspect of a football game, and Coach knows that you got to win the special teams battle.
Especially in high school football. The kicking game can be enormous in high school football when one play can change the outcome of a game.
And then we talked about it too, defensively minimize that big play, which Liberty County is more than capable of pulling off that big play. And when you're a very grinded out offensive control team, you don't want to let that big play and put that defense right back on the field.
Wouldn't be surprised to see that big play come on defense. These two teams don't throw the ball much. They're running football teams. So wouldn't be surprised to see a fumble return or an interception or something like that for a touchdown.
So it should be a good one indeed. Statesboro taking on Liberty County in the Thursday Night Blitz game of the week. There's the Blue Devils, and they're all set to go, and we're all set to go. Thanks for watching the Honda pregame show. We're going to have your O.C. Welch coin toss coming up, plus the game brought to you by Ford Go Further. We will be right back on the Thursday Night Blitz game of the week.
You've been watching the Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week pregame show, brought to you by your Metro Savannah Honda dealers. Stick around. Kickoff is next.
You are in Devil territory. Welcome back to the Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week. The Statesboro Blue Devils here at Womack Field on a perfect night for football, getting set to take on the Liberty County Panthers out of Hinesville in a 4A showdown, and a key showdown, too, with the way the new reallocation is and the realignment. There's only 3 teams in the sub-region, that is, and Coach says every game means a whole lot toward the playoffs. I'm Ken Slatz. Stephen Weeks, local sports writer, joins us for a long time here in Savannah. And, Stephen, good to have you once again as we get set for the coin toss and the start of the game. But 2 teams, and it should be exciting. It should be a good football game, as we've had each and every week so far on the Thursday Night Blitz. Absolutely.
We're about 3 minutes away from game time here, and this crowd is filing in. I was told before the game they'll have about 2,500 people in here filling up this side of the stadium, so it should be a heck of a crowd and a good atmosphere.
And as you can see, you can't beat a stadium like this on the high school level, maybe in Texas where they spend a few million to build. This place is gorgeous.
Well, Ken, I've been doing this for a long time, and I have not seen a high school facility quite like this. This reminds me of a small college, and the way the fans are kind of starting to roll in, I think it's going to be I think crowd noise is going to be an issue for Liberty County.
I've been to you're right, you know, some of the Division II schools or some smaller colleges.
Even like a Wofford.
Absolutely. It's just a gorgeous stadium. I think they're in their 4th season now. I remember a couple state, they went to a state championship and won a state championship years ago in the old stadium, and actually they put the new stadium in the same spot. Let's talk about this series just for a bit. Statesboro has won 5 of 6 games, including a tight one. Last year, 17-14. That was one that was pretty tight, a 17-14 win.
It's a weird series, Ken. This Liberty County program has only had 2 winning seasons since 2001. But in a 2-8 season 2 years ago, they hammered Statesboro 29-0. How does that happen?
Yeah,
that's high school football, right?
Yeah, that was the one shocker that I still recall that night because we actually didn't go to the game. It was we got 15 games that night for our Friday Night Blitz, and someone called the score, and I said, "No way!" Somebody called the wrong score, and I was stunned.
Ken, if that was a college game, I think they'd be looking to see if Vegas was involved somehow.
So the band's playing, and we are getting set. Indeed, it should be another good one. The fans are starting to fill in on the near side of a great football game and a great facility, and it's great to be here at a facility like this.
I'll tell you, the thing I've been impressed with the Statesboro crowd is they've got a terrific pregame atmosphere. There were tailgaters in the parking lot. It's a Thursday afternoon. There were tailgaters in the parking lot, people cooking out. There was a pretty big crowd here rolling in 30 minutes before the game started.
And bands, they pulled out the brand new uniforms the band did for our WSAV Thursday Night Blitz. Maybe it's a coincidence, but that's what I've been told.
Maybe it could be. I think they may have more band members than Liberty County has football players. That is a enormous band.
And Liberty County, as you said, too, it's a pretty new program, too. Kirk Warner took over when they split apart from Bradwell, so they've only been around for, I think, he's the only coach this program has had, 11 years. He learned under Coach Walsh at Bradwell and then came to Liberty County. And he's done a great job, too, trying to build a program, and I'm sure he would like to emulate what they built here at Statesboro and what Coach Pennington has really continued. This school's been around in this football program since 1929.
Oh, I think, obviously, Statesboro is the standard for South Georgia football right now in terms of the success they've had and the consistent success they've had. They've won 10 games a year, 10 games per year for 11 years. That's just fantastic.
We are now with the officials, with the players at midfield, and they are getting set to walk out to the middle for the coin toss. The hands up, and here we go. We will listen in on the coin toss here between Liberty County and Statesboro on the Thursday Night Blitz game of the week.
Might as well. Good old weird Thursday night start. Don't have many of those, do you? All right, guys, shake each other's hands real fast. Guys, that's Mr. Darrell Hopkins, and I'm Ronnie Melton. Panthers. Ronnie Melton. Ronnie Melton. Ronnie Melton. All right, guys.
Yes. All right, we're trying to go down to midfield. Our mic is going in and out a little bit here at the stadium in the O.C. Welch coin toss. You can see it right there. Liberty County has deferred, so Statesboro will get their choice. That's Ronnie Coleman, the head official there for tonight's telecast. His crew based out of Statesboro. He says he rarely does games in Statesboro, rarely goes east to the Savannah area. They do a lot of games in Claxton and Evans County and out that way. So Statesboro will receive the football. So we're set to go here. We put up 12 on the clock for the start of the first quarter between Statesboro and Liberty County. As we said, last year was 17-14. Liberty County losing by a field goal, and then the year before, Liberty County winning 29-0. Prior to that, a few more other games in the series when they started it up. Liberty County losing each of them all pretty much in convincing fashion.
Liberty County's record last year was a little bit deceiving, Ken. They lost 3 games by 3 points or less, and they lost 8 games by an average of 12 points, and that includes a 46-point loss to Ware County. So they could have seen this improvement coming had they. If you're paying attention down here in South Georgia, you should have known Liberty County is going to be better this year.
Well, they lost Shadrack Thornton, who was a main part of that offense. Now at NC State, helping the Wolfpack beat Florida State over the weekend. He played a big part of that team, and they kind of had to replace that. He had a great game
last weekend.
Scored a touchdown, and in fact, his second touchdown of the season for NC State. So another school that one of his old buddies, Daquan McMillan, possibly thinking about going as well. It'd be a dynamic duo up there for NC State. So Liberty County set to kick off, the kick from the 40, going from right to left on your television screen. Glad you could join us on the MyLC Thursday Night Blitz game of the week.
Liberty County's kicker has kind of a Troy Polamalu look going, the long flowing locks. Looks like number 4 for Statesboro, Daquan Brunson, and who's that, number
38?
38 maybe. Jim Kapotic.
So we're waiting, and the crowd is still coming in.
A little bit of confusion here before they kick off. Waiting to figure some things out on the sidelines, it looks like. Maybe Liberty County doesn't have quite the right alignment on the field. They're running a guy on now.
Wakan Lamapu is the sophomore. He's a linebacker, but
actually
he's also the kicker, and he's waiting to kick the football.
They were, who they were waiting on is one of Liberty County's better players. Jeremy Caldwell Fabregas was the guy running on the field there late. So everybody's got 11 now. Time to kick off.
So Jeremy Caldwell Fabregas is ready to go, and I think we got 11. I've counted 11. How about you, Stephen?
Yeah, math isn't not my forte. Let's not count on that, but I'm going to say it's 11 on 11. Let's play some football. So
we'll get Statesboro. See the Statesboro offense first, running the wishbone. Coach says, I said, well, who else do you compare your wishbone to? He goes, there it is, nobody else. We run a wishbone. We run a unique wishbone, an old-style wishbone. And in today's day and age in high school, you see a spread offense. So there we see a kick to the dead center of the field, and it is fielded and brought by the 10-yard line. Daquan straight up the 30, 28-yard line, so that's where Statesboro will take over 1st and 10 on the first drive of the game here on the Thursday Night Blitz.
This first drive obviously will be important, Ken.
Statesboro's offense, and there you get to see the offense out there. Colin Chance is your quarterback. He'll take the snaps. We'll see about 9 running backs. That's right, 9 running backs in and out, including Daquan Brunson, Daniel Murphy. Jim Kapotic is the fullback. John Lewis and Landon Harrelson running the tight ends. And then Chris Reese, Alan Ward, Justin McBride, Kwasi Murphy, and Desmond Brinson trying to make holes for those wishbone running backs. So
interesting that Daquan Daniels does not start for Statesboro.
And the handoff is straight to the left-hand side and gaining possibly a yard on the play. 24
Daniel
on the
Murphy.
run. Murphy, and what Coach said, I think when I met with him earlier in the week, first thing I said, well, Daquan Daniels is not in the starting lineup because, Ken, we run 9 guys in and out of there, and he indeed will get his shot. Let's check out Liberty County Panthers defense.
It looks like Roberts, Walls, Davis, Holmes, Greg Roman, and then the big players, Jeremy Caldwell Fabregas and Raekwon McMillan, the 2 linebackers, really make a difference for these guys.
So Statesboro's got a 2nd and 10 they still have on the clock. 2nd and 10, we're just underway. Handoff straight up the middle once again.
Get a flag in the backfield here, probably for a false start, I believe.
Quick foul like that, either that or...
Ken, even if they get in long yardage situations, I would not expect to see Statesboro go to the air too often. They don't throw the ball very often, regardless of down and distance.
Daniel Murphy with the call, but it's going to be wiped out. He's a DB.
Also illegal motion on the offense.
Running back.
That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
As a junior, you'll see a lot of guys play. We're going to see it's a long lineup, and we're going to see a lot of guys see action. As I said, 9 deep at running back, but you'll see linemen come in and out. You'll see linebackers come in and out. Statesboro probably uses 2 to 3 times as many players as Liberty County will use in and out.
It's the advantage of having depth in the numbers. Look at the Statesboro sideline. It's filled with players. It's 3rd and 9 here. Liberty County declined that penalty.
So Colin Chance running the show just inside the 30-yard line of his own field.
Going to get into a flex bone here for Statesboro. And here's
Colin Chance back to throw, and he scrambles around, looking to his right, being chased, and there's 45, Fabregas. Nice throw down the middle.
It's caught by Murphy. He's touched the ball in all 3 offensive plays so far for Statesboro.
So they'll move the chains just to 1st down, just inside the 40-yard line, marked the 39 for Statesboro.
Well, that offensive line gave him all day. He moved around a little bit and found a space to throw into, and that's probably that may not be a good sign for Liberty County if he's going to complete passes.
Caldwell Fabregas trying to track him down. I didn't see Raekwon McMillan on the blitz at all. He held back. So we have a 1st and 10, reset the clock, standard wishbone. Colin Chance taking the snaps for Statesboro. Handoff. There's Daquan Daniels breaking through off the left-hand side. Daniels across the 47-yard line, possibly to the 48.
I know it's only one play, but it looks like Daniels has a little bit different gear than Daniel Murphy when he touches the ball.
I think they mix it up so well. I mean, when you bring in that many guys, it's hard to key on a player, obviously. You're more keying on a position than anything, but each player, especially Daquan Daniels, what we've seen from him.
Certainly seems like they're identifying where McMillan is and trying to keep away from McMillan. These are teams that still huddle. A lot of teams have gone to a no huddle or a very up-tempo offense. These guys are still huddling 6-7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
You don't see that a whole lot anymore in high school. It's pretty much almost always in the spread and in the hurry-up offense. Handoff to the right-hand side goes Daquan. That's 4. Daquan Brunson gets enough for a first down just inside, just cross midfield.
Ken, I think they're going to get Daquan Daniels for holding. That may be one of the only downsides of having so much depth is you don't have players get into a rhythm and they make errors just based on not being in the game on consecutive plays.
We have a holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty.
Not sure who it's on. They don't give the numbers.
Repeat.
In high school, they don't give numbers. From where I'm watching, that was pretty much Daquan Daniels.
He
dragged the guy down to the ground.
So they're back to a 2nd and almost 11.
Although if I was Daquan Daniels, I wouldn't want to be tangling with his 2 guys in the middle for Liberty County. I'd drag him down too.
Long huddle, 8 on the clock. Clock still running. That's what we'll see.
Statesboro wants to play a short game. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Chance efficiently runs the offense, taken over and done a nice job this season. He's going to throw a quick pass off to the left-hand side, just way overthrows his receiver. That was intended for Malik Evans, but just completely overthrew him.
DJ Bratcher was about a half a foot from making a pick and making that first big play like we talked about in the pregame.
Looked like it just got away from Chance.
Yeah, he didn't look nearly as comfortable on that throw as he did on his first pass. Still had time, though. Plenty of time to throw, just maybe nobody open.
I see Daquan Daniels kind of hanging around in the middle at that linebacker position. They have not sent him in yet on the blitz. Now he lines up all the way up to the line of scrimmage, points out where he wants to go.
He seems to be
see
playing
if he goes
sort of
there.
a rover.
There he goes, straight through the middle. Colin Chance with all kinds of time, though. Breaks to his left-hand side. Little dump pass. Tried to get it off again to the same receiver, W.C. Hodges. We're approaching 8.5 minutes here in the first quarter of play on the Thursday Night Blitz game of the week.
And I don't know if it's the presence of McMillan or what it is, but for a team in Statesboro that's only thrown 32 passes all year, they've already thrown 3 in the first 4 minutes of the ball game.
I've noticed they've tried to go to the left side when he lines up on the try to go left side when he was lining up on the right side.
Absolutely.
So they're obviously trying to stay. And Caldwell Fabregas is a star linebacker as well. So the punt is off.
Football player.
And the punt is a good one by George Hill, taken inside the 20-yard line.
That was a fair catch by Bratcher, DJ Bratcher.
Bratcher returning the opening kickoff when they opened a brand new football stadium at Bradwell. Liberty County was the road team, Bradwell was the home team, and there's what happened. Bradwell kicked the ball off, and DJ Bratcher returned it for an 88-yard touchdown. Welcome to the new stadium. Way to spoil it.
That young man will remember that the rest of his life, Ken.
Yep. Liberty County offense, let's check it out for you. The Panthers coming out, and we're going to hold on. Let's pop that off real quick. We'll bring that right back as Liberty County is quickly to the line of scrimmage.
They've got McMillan spread out as a slot receiver to the right, and he's going to block for Bratcher.
Quick pass out to the right. J.J. Grant, the quarterback. Now let's check out the offense. J.J. Grant is the quarterback. Andre Haygray is the running back, along with Trent Williams. The wide receivers, pretty good ones too. Miles Philbot, Jordan Waters, and Joey Irizarry. Joshua Cooper is the lineman, along with Karen Collier Ellison, Dalen Bryant, Chandre Mells, and Mulbro Roberts. That's your line to try and give J.J. Grant time to try and throw the football.
Yeah, Haygray and Williams both have over 300 yards rushing so far in this season.
Grant with a quick little inside handoff around the right-hand side. That's Trentus Williams trying to pick up some yardage.
Williams is second leading rusher on this team with 321 yards, but he's averaging over 12 yards a carry, Ken, so far in 6 games.
Shot of Coach Warner there. Started this program. Coached under Jim Walsh at Bradwell Institute for several years before he got his big break here. We'll talk more about him and the history of the former Georgia Bulldog tight end when we have time a little bit later in today's telecast.
I remember him well.
So it's J.J. Grant in the backfield. Another inside handoff, this time going to number 2, Andre Haygray. And Haygray across the 25 to the 29. Let's check out the defense. Who do we see out there for the Blue Devils?
Got Womack, Tarver, Jackson, Burnett, Key, Harden, Pope, Moore, Roberts, Ware, and Schofield. It's a good defense. Like on offense, though, I think they're going to run a lot of guys in and off, on and off the field.
Lex Womack, the guy to watch out for on the end, number 98. Liberty County taking their time as well, and it looks like we have a timeout, an official timeout on the field. We're going to use this as a break. We will be right back with more of the first quarter on the Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week, brought to you by Ford. Go further. Welcome back to tonight's broadcast of the Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week. We have no score in the first quarter of play here in the Borough. Womack Field, home of the Statesboro Blue Devils, and there are the Blue Devils. 6:48 left to go in the first quarter. Stephen Weeks, I'm Ken Slatz, bringing you today's telecast.
Ken, while we were away at break, Liberty County was awarded a first down in a measurement.
It was a close measurement. All right, good call. They got the first down, so Liberty County will be operating in their second
series of the game for Liberty County.
There's the Panther, always a fixture with Liberty County football. They, too, are in a new football stadium. Only been there for a few years. They finally built one for themselves, so they don't have to share at OV Field in Bradwell. So here goes J.J. Grant. He's got two running backs in with him. Inside handoff. Looked like an option, and around the left-hand side, Trentus Williams, we've seen him 3 times to the same side, and this one a pretty good gain, probably about 6 or 7 yards.
I think he got almost 8 yards, and I think the blocker out there was McMillan.
We'll see. You're right. We did see Raekwon McMillan in there. We'll see him mostly on goal line situations. He's their leading touchdown rusher, I believe, but scoring 7 touchdowns, 28 carries, 159 yards, so he has 7 touchdowns, so he's by far number 1 in rushing touchdowns, but mainly they put him in by the goal line. Handoff straight up the middle. They're continuing to content on either going straight up the middle or the right side. That one's Andre Hagray.
It looks like what they do is they alternate runs between Hagray and Williams. Williams is kind of the speed guy. Looks like Hagray is more of the pound up the middle guy. Equal success with both with the first down.
They keep moving the chains. We talked about ball control offense. You don't want to put the ball in the hands of Statesboro because they will eat up the clock. You'd rather be eating that clock up yourself, resting your defense, which is so key in a fourth quarter game like this with 2 bruising football teams. J.J. Grant with Hagray in the backfield again. And he hands it to him, and straight up the middle is Hagray. And I'm sorry, J.J. Grant kept it. Nice play fake. Fake me out across the 50 to the 45.
Terrific play fake out of the quarterback there. They've run that play 2 or 3 times. Statesboro bit. He goes outside for 10, 11, 12 yards. And this is, I don't think you could ask for a better start for Liberty County.
No, not at all. They've moved the chains. That's the 3rd time they've moved the chains. And that was pretty much a handoff, and he brought it back, I think. It was that deep.
They were both kind of running together for a second, and one of them broke out of the pack.
So they're in Statesboro territory now. We're down to 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter of play. Hand off to Prentice around the right-hand side. No going there. 7 for Statesboro. Joe Corliss was there to say, you're not going to play that same call again with me, and Hagray stopped quickly.
Let's see if Statesboro's defense steps up over the 50. It looks like they may have just huddled and kind of talked to themselves, and let's get in this ball game.
There's actually Trentus Williams there making a big stop in the backfield. So loss of 2, I think it goes officially. 2nd and 11, should be 2nd and 12 maybe. Right at midfield. We've seen each team with the ball once, and we're down to 4.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter of play. Another inside handcuff. They won't get this one off.
Looks like Liberty County jumped off sides. I think one of the receivers jumped off sides on the other side of the field, the opposite side of the field.
Ball start, offense, 5-yard penalty.
There you hear it by Ronnie Coleman, the head referee.
Again, though, great start for Liberty County. Even if they don't get points, Ken, they've kept the ball, and they've proved, hey, we can move against this Statesboro defense, which has been so imposing all year.
You know, Ryan Glazer is the offensive coordinator. He's been with Coach Warner for 6 years now, one of the players on his staff that's been there for quite some time with Liberty County. And the coach said they formed a good friendship, obviously you need to be, and they've been able to run this offense and try and refine it over the years, being a new football program. So J.J. Grant with the football and up the middle, across midfield, almost back to the line of scrimmage.
It certainly looks like the Statesboro defense has stiffened here once the Panthers cross the 50. Statesboro has not given up a lot of points this year, Ken, and I think one of the reasons for that is gang tackling. You can see them swarming to the football as soon as they get to the line of scrimmage.
Another huddle, and we're down to 3:49. A much different pace than Memorial Day in Bethesda we saw last week on the Thursday Night Blitz game of the week. So here comes Liberty County, same lineup. J.J. Grant looking to pass for the first time and chased down. Missed, and great J.J. Grant moving by himself and hit very hard. Fumble on the play, and it's down on the turf. And the sign is, well, one player's pointing one way and one's pointing the other way.
Boy, this is going to be a scrum, and I think Statesboro is going to come out with it. That was a big, big hit delivered.
Statesboro has the football, indeed. I know he was chased down initially by Brandon Maple for Statesboro, but he was coming from behind. He was hit up front.
We look on the replay here, and he does not have very much time in the pocket. He has to start scrambling almost immediately.
There's Brandon Maple.
Maple got a hand on him, and he just takes a wallop right here from, it looks like, number 48. Number 48 on Statesboro caused that fumble. Carl Moore.
Indeed, he should get the credit for that one. Carl Moore with the big hit. Statesboro's right back at it in a hurry. Daquan Daniels around the left-hand side breaks the first tackle. He's got two would-be blockers in front of him, and he slipped and fell.
Well, Statesboro, interestingly, came out in a shotgun that time. They've been in the wishbone the first few plays they ran. They came out in a shotgun, gave it to Daniels, and I think there was another holding or illegal block in the back maybe.
They'll run that, wishbone offense not out of the shotgun 95% of the time, Coach said. 90%, I should say. A little bit of a shotgun, but he said pretty much, we're a wishbone
10-yard
offense.
penalty from the spot of the foul.
Daquan Daniels, you saw there, he's a natural athlete. He likes to put the ball in his hands. He said he's got so much God-given abilities. 4.43 speed. He can run inside, plus he's got the outside, the inside power game, plus the outside. Great vision Daquan Daniels has, and we've seen a little bit of that, but we'll see the shotgun once in a while, but not a whole lot.
You can certainly see from Daniels' first couple of carries, he's got a little shake in him. Back to that wishbone, Ken.
Right back to what they're familiar with, and it's Daquan Daniels on the right-hand side. Play fake by Colin Chance. Rolling back, lots of time. Chased down and hit hard. Hit hard and brought down by, I believe,
number 57, Antwine Davis laid the wood to Statesboro's quarterback right there. I'll tell you, Statesboro's hurt themselves with penalties. Big hit being chased by number 43 as well, Corey Lazenby.
You got to throw that ball away in that situation. You're flushed out of the pocket, you toss it to the sidelines, out of play.
Ken, that's a quarterback not familiar with throwing the ball. That's 4 passes in their first 11 plays. They've only thrown 32 passes in 6 games. They must not feel comfortable running against this Liberty County defense.
Colin Chance changing it. It was the wishbone originally. Daquan Daniels now shifts in the backfield, but it's a handoff straight up the middle to the fullback. And big 38 rumbles and stumbles for about 8 yards on the play. That's 38, Jim Kapotic.
That's just a run to punt, I think.
The tight end from a tight end position lined in the backfield. As we said, we'll see a lot of different formations with players, I should say. But he's another one. So he just wanted to get the ball back to the middle of the field. Now they have a 3rd and 19 to go. But it's a game of field position. Coaches, sometimes you give up that big home run play to get it where you can, in a manageable punt situation, where you just flip the field.
Absolutely. Little surprised to see Statesboro trying to throw the ball so much so early with a quarterback that's this inexperienced at throwing.
Chance keeps himself straight to the middle, and guess who he runs into? Big 42, Raekwon McMillan. Rack one up for the junior with a big tackle and a stop instantly.
Oh, Ken, he just gobbles him up right here. This is, as soon as he puts his hands on him, sheds a blocker, sheds Daniels, and there's no forward progress after McMillan gets his hands on you. Man, that's impressive. That was an impressive play by one of the better players in our area, if not the best player.
And when I talked to Coach Warner, and he said, yeah, he's a junior, his eyes lit up. He's got another year with this kid on his football team. Who would not want to take that? So Statesboro punting the football. George Hill on the punt.
And that's that Bratcher back there again, Ken. He's got great speed, good instincts for the ball. He actually fielded that ball coming up forward, gained about 10 yards off of roughly 35-yard punt.
Yeah, DJ Bratcher will also play defensive back. He is a senior on this team, and as I said, he ran that. He's got 1 punt return for touchdown, ran that one to open up the ball game against Bradwell quite a few weeks back. I was down there.
Got some smoke rolling in here, either from the tailgate or maybe some fog, some early evening fog. I don't know. Maybe they're cooking. Yeah, I think the grills at the concession stand might be causing some smoke on the field.
Handoff straight up the middle, and big 96 for Statesboro said, you're not going nowhere. That's Jesse Tarver with the big stop instantly.
I think we're starting to see the flow of this game, Ken. I think it's going to be a very physical, bruising football game. Both defenses exerting their wills early.
Trentus Williams again with the call, but absolutely nowhere to go, losing yardage. We're down to 20 seconds left in the first quarter play. We'll see if we can get one more play off. Liberty County not in any hurry whatsoever. I'm not sure if there's a difference between the game clock and the play clock, but it's looking like we're down to 8 seconds of play, 7. We'll see if he can beat the snap, and it looks like he's going to try to. J.J. Grant just beating the clock. Handoff straight up the middle. No, he keeps it, pulls it right back out again, and J.J. Grant with a gain of a few to the 45-yard line, and there you hear the horn sound. We have no score. We have a game played inside pretty much the 35-yard line, and we're going to take a full commercial 2-minute timeout, and we'll be back with no score from the Borough. Statesboro and Liberty County 0-0 on the Thursday Night Blitz. Game of the Week brought to you by Ford. Go further.
The Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week, brought to you by Ford. Go further.
Welcome back to action here at Womack Field. Beautiful, brand new, not brand new, just a few years old Womack Field. 12 minutes on the clock. We're about to start the second quarter of play. No score between the Statesboro Blue Devils and the Liberty County Panthers. I'm WSAV's Ken Slatt, Stephen Weeks, local writer, joining me as well. And we got a handoff straight up the middle to start the second quarter of play, and that's a no-go. That's 3 linemen standing them right up, and talk about nowhere to go.
It'll be 4th down, but I think you have to be impressed with Liberty County's ability to move the football, particularly with the quarterback draw. Trentus Williams running to the outside. They've been able to generate some offense, which Statesboro, frankly, has not been able to do so far.
And our crack commando stat man over there, Joseph, telling us that J.J. Grant's the leading rusher with 25 yards for Liberty County. He broke that one. I think that went for 12 or 13 yards. So there we see Caldwell Fabregas in the lineup as well. We haven't seen a whole lot of Daquan Williams on offense, but Liberty County forced to punt the football at a 4th and 6. Again, they're playing field position. That's big 4-3. Corey Lazenby, the senior, plays linebacker, also plays punter, and he'll kick away to Statesboro. The blitz is on and almost blocked straight up in the air. He might have got a tip of it. Ball's bouncing around on 46-yard line. Not sure if he got a tip of the ball.
I think he did get it. I think somebody got a piece of that punt, because they did not throw a flag for running into the kicker.
Oh, we had – okay.
You know, we talked, Ken, about special teams. This is the kind of thing that could turn the tide of the game. Before the game, both coaches said special teams will be important. Obviously, great field position here on the 46 on Liberty County's 46-yard line. This is where Statesboro could maybe try to take advantage.
Best field position of the day. 3 back in the wishbone. Colin Chant still running the offense. Handoff to Daquan, excuse me, that was not Murphy. Daquan, Daniel, that's Murphy. And the junior, 5'10", 168, also plays DB. He gets the call and rolls around the left and moves the chains instantly.
Ken, I got some stats earlier in the week from the Statesboro Herald. Murphy actually not listed as one of the leading rushers for this football team, but he's played a large role tonight, touched the ball 5 times out of like 12 plays. Back in that wishbone, Ken.
They love the wishbone, and Liberty County, they're hogging the line of scrimmage, and why not? When nobody split out wide, split out right, and this one too.
I think that's Murphy again.
Yeah, I think it was Murphy once again. They are continuing to go to Daniel Murphy.
Murphy must have had a good week of practice to get this many carries.
Straight up the middle and won't move the chains, but he got about 5-6 yards of play. 5 they give him, so it's marked right on the 30. 2nd and 5. A manageable, coaches love, 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4, because you pull more plays out of your basket. There's a lot more different calls you can make with a manageable 2nd down like that.
They may have more options. I don't think they're going to take advantage of them. I think this is going right back up the gut, Ken.
Chance spins around, fakes a handoff one way, and then hands it off
Big hole.
number 21, Daquan Daniels. And Daniels takes it inside the 20 to inside the 15, actually, to the 11-yard line. It's hard to see sometimes when you line up in the wishbone. You guys got crisscrossing all over the place. Like, all right, who's got the ball? It is Daquan Daniels.
That was a heck of a fake by the quarterback, Colin Chance. And I'll tell you, that's the kind of play you see the burst that Daquan Daniels has versus everybody else on the field. He got through that hole quickly, got down to the 10-yard line for a 1st and goal.
Quick snap, too. Stood up is Daquan Daniels and slips free inside the 10 to the 6-yard line.
And guess who he just ran through the tackle of? Raekwon McMillan.
And he slid by him, too. He was spinning on the play and slid just outside his outstretched arms. And we have a flag on the play. And it's on Liberty County. So
you don't tack it on.
Dead ball foul that may go half the distance of the goal. I don't think that's a declinable foul if it's dead ball.
Interesting to see Mr. Daniels run through the tackle of Mr. McMillan. I'll call both of those guys misters in case I see him after the game.
So the referees are sorting it out. Ronnie Coleman there is going to figure out what we need to make the call. Turns the mic on. Let's listen in.
We have illegal substitutions on the defense. 12 men on the field. 1 did not get off. That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 1st down.
All right, so it was a dead ball foul, so now it'll be just 1st and 5, and I believe they can get a 1st down inside the 1. I think they can at about the 1-inch line. They can get a 1st down to play. So Statesboro in a familiar territory, trying to go straight up the middle.
It's Shedrick
Nowhere
Rawls.
going.
First carry for Shedrick Rawls, number 2, over the right side. Didn't get as much. Looked like he was about to score, but somebody jumped in there, probably McMillan, and pulled him down.
So they did give him a 1.5 yards.
That hole closed pretty quickly, didn't it, Ken?
Well, you know Liberty County is going to contain and keep everybody inside as much as they can, which sometimes leave a hole inside if you're coming from the outside in. There's a handoff. Roderick Rawls again and just gets to the line, and second effort gets him into the end zone, and Roderick Rawls scores the first touchdown of the game. Statesboro Jr. putting points on the board, and Statesboro's up with a 3-yard touchdown run.
Ken, that was all Roderick, too. He didn't have a lot of blocking out there. He carried 2 guys across the goal line and stretched out to get in there. He gets to about the 2-yard line here and just keeps driving his legs as Fabregas and McMillan are trying to bring him down. They just couldn't hold on to him.
So it's George Hill on to tack on the extra point for Statesboro. Nice blitz, but kicks it up and kicks it no good. So it'll remain 6-0. We talk about special teams. That's a special team right there.
So we've already had 2 big special teams play. We miss an extra point. We got a punt block down here. And just like the coaches say, hey, these guys know what they're talking about, man. These are 2 very good coaches. They knew how this game was going to go. It's going to be a tough physical football game. Special teams already playing a big, big part.
Due to the time constraints, we move forward in today's broadcast.
Let's see if he can get it off. They've shifted over to the right side now. Statesboro's bringing pressure from the other side.
So Corey Lazenby just getting off. Another line drive punt, an athletic punt maybe? Is that what you called it earlier?
I think so. A little home cooking on the scoreboard there. They got a few extra seconds.
Hey, we partnered up this year with the Prep Sports Report. Magazine started by Carl DeMasi. Dean Mesh is now running the Prep Sports Report, and they do a great job locally in Savannah and the surrounding areas of covering high school sports. There you see it. WSAV is a proud partner, and Dean Mesh has been in the booth a couple times so far. In fact, Dean Mesh will be joining me in 2 weeks in the booth in Claxton of the Pecan Grove. So the Prep Sports Report doing a great job with football. Let's get back to the action now. We're down to 38.7 seconds left. Colin Chance straight drop back, firing over to the right-hand side, a little bit overthrown. So it stops at 32.9, and it's a second down for Statesboro.
Trying to get Kapoktik out there, and it just went right through his hands. Put a lot of juice on it. Maybe a little bit too much juice. A lot of passes here for Statesboro. For a team that only threw 32 passes coming into the game, they've thrown 8 or 9 here in the first half.
And like Coach Pennington said, we'd see a lot of running backs in and out. We have seen quite a bit of that. And we've seen a lot of players in and out in a 6-0 game and a clock that has gone very fast. Colin Chance again, straight drop back, and he's looking long. Daquan Daniels out of the backfield, and a little bumping going on between him and DJ Bratcher, but bumping back and forth, but it goes out of bounds and down to 26 now with a 3rd and 10.
You know, much like Liberty County will use McMillan and Fabregas on both sides of the ball, they've really moved Daniels around trying to get the ball in his hands. He's obviously their best playmaker, their most explosive player on offense.
Offensive coordinator Kenny Tucker sending in the call. Colin Chance heads to the huddle. Stick with us. As I said, we got a great halftime show coming up. The athletic directors of both schools will join us to talk all good things going on at Statesboro and Liberty County High School. That's on the halftime report. Back to the action. Colin Chance rolling around to the left-hand side, quickly hitting W.C. Hodges.
He's going to be really close. I'm not sure if he got the first down. Referee's pointing like he does, though.
Moving the chains, not even a measurement. They give it to him. Here's the replay. Colin Chance, nice fire, nice spot. Right on the 49-yard line, and that's right where the ball was marked. Good mark.
Terrific timing with Hodges. Hodges came out of his break. He was open. The quarterback saw him and hit him. He does look comfortable throwing the ball, Ken.
Knight does doing a nice job rolling out. Probably got about, they still got 20 more yards. I'd say 20, 25 maybe, to really get into a good field goal range. Colin Chance with a straight drop back, being chased by Raekwon McMillan, but slips off to the right-hand side. Looks underthrown. The ball skipped, and indeed it was, but Raekwon McMillan was barreling down on the quarterback.
He was. He was coming. You could obviously, I'm sure he could feel him on his backside. Missed a block there.
Yeah.
Oof, that was almost a heck of a catch.
Looked like it skipped from up here, but no, it definitely hit his hands.
Got it in his hands, and he just couldn't quite drag it in. He was going away from it.
So now it's a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, well, Colin Chance, for a guy who doesn't throw the ball much, looks awfully comfortable rolling out to his right, rolling out to his left, finding open receivers. He's really been pretty efficient in this game. In a shotgun, and everybody coming, jailbreak, and they're going to throw a little screen.
Quick dump off right there.
Got a hole.
Daquan Brunson's got some room, and Brunson around the right side. Unfortunately, they're running out of room. It's down to 3.8 seconds. I saw a flag fly in, I believe.
Yeah, probably a block in the back or a hold. Statesboro let everybody through right there. I'm sure Liberty County was licking their chops, and all of a sudden the ball was flying over their heads.
Colin Chance, as you said, really looking smooth, very gritty player, passionate player, Coach Pennington said. Plays with a lot of emotion, and that's what you want out of a quarterback. Play with that emotion. Show the other players around you that you're playing with that emotion because you lay it all on your sleeve.
Well, he got fired up after the touchdown, too, earlier. I think we all saw him jumping around the field, really energizing his teammates as they came off to the sideline. So he's obviously their team leader on offense.
And I asked him, I said, is there any negatives? He goes, well, the one negative might be he plays with a linebacker mentality. I'm like, well, is that a negative? He goes, well, in a way it is sometimes. You want him to calm down a little bit. But I would say that's not a bad negative to really have when you got a guy with that linebacker mentality.
I don't know. You don't want your starting quarterback looking for contact, though. Not with a guy like Raekwon McMillan out there.
True. Depends who you're looking at. But 3.8 seconds left. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a kneel down here.
Yeah, I agree.
It's either going to be a kneel down or a home run ball. In fact, they started the clock. That's right, because of the offensive penalty right there. So there's where we stand. We have a touchdown in the game. It was a 3-yard touchdown run by Sharodrick Rawls with 9:01 left to go in the second quarter. And that's all we have on the scoreboard. It's 6-0 here at Womack Field.
They may actually come back and run a play here.
Well, there you go. I think he explains it well.
Great explanation. I think we all know what's going on now.
If you accept the penalty like they did, there has to be a play. And now they're in their kneel-down formation. And since the play was accepted, there's your kneel down. And it was a formality. Now we'll go to halftime. There's 0.3 left on the clock. They stopped it. I got to believe that might be clock error. There we go. Now we're back up to halftime. Hey. Well, as I said, it's 6-0 right now. We're going to be back with the halftime show. Ken LeCain from Statesboro High School will join us. Warnella Wilder from Liberty County. We'll talk all good things going on with a couple of great institutions in 4A football and all sports. Right now it's 6-0. Liberty County Panthers trailing the Statesboro Blue Devils at Womack Field. We'll be right back with the halftime report. You're watching the Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week brought to you by Ford. Go further.
The Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week is brought to you by Ford. Go further.
Statesboro has done exactly what Coach Pennington wants to do, which is take the air out of the football, run the clock, get a bunch of first downs, and make the other team make a mistake. And that's what Liberty County did, quite frankly. They put the ball on the ground one time. They had a punt blocked, and that's kind of what Statesboro does. They put so much pressure on you by running so much clock, having so much time of possession. You feel like you have to make a play. You start to press, and that's when you make a mistake.
So Liberty County, on the positive side for them, they will get the football to start the second half of play. Jordan Waters is back deep.
And you've said before, Ken, Bratcher, number 7 for Liberty County, certainly has game-breaking ability. If he can get a hole, he can certainly go the distance, which would obviously be another one of the special teams plays we've discussed throughout the game that could change the momentum, could completely get Liberty County back in the game.
Joey Rosari also back deep to the right, but the deepest man, as you said, is Bratcher, and they're sure hoping that they can get the ball in his hands.
Certainly feels like Bratcher has been a part of a lot of football plays, offensively, defensively, and on special teams for the Panthers.
So it is George Hill set to kick off in the second half of play on the Thursday Night Blitz. We hope you enjoying tonight's telecast, and the kick is deep, and it's going to be DJ Bratcher with the shot, maybe. No, too far back. 1 yard into the end zone, so Bratcher with no shot to take it out. That's where Liberty County will start things in the third quarter of play, and a key drive. Can you come out at halftime? Can you control the football? And can you put points on the board? You get to that point where you can play the field position all you want, but if you don't crack through on the scoreboard, you're going to come on the short end.
I think Liberty County has to be proud of their defense for hanging in there in the second quarter when Statesboro was across the 50 a couple of times. Defense certainly hung in there, prevented the lead from growing anymore, but now you're right. It's time for the offense to do their part. And they're going to come out with 3 receivers in a shotgun.
Shotgun formation for J.J. Grant, who's done a good job of running this offense. He loses the snap, almost falls on it, but rolls out to his right. Flag was thrown. A quick flag was thrown, and I'm not sure. It looked like
that was just that was a problem play from the start for Liberty County. It looked like Grant's head was turned when the ball was snapped. He may not have seen the snap.
It came from the near side, almost at a hold position on the end.
Umpire directly behind J.J. Grant threw that flag. I don't know what that could have been that quickly.
Yeah, almost.
Oh, I had 3 in the backfield. Okay. We are.
Could have been an illegal forward pass or a illegal shift or something.
Hey, 3 men in the back.
He's discussing it at length.
But they had 3 in the backfield. That got hit. You took 2 steps to hit the quarterback after he threw it.
If there's anything else the quarterback, you got to be very thorough from the referee.
Here we go.
Well, one team passes it, he can't run. All right, on the play, we have a roughing the passer. Automatic.
Can we see a replay of that? I'm not
I don't
sure
know that
the flag was thrown so quickly. I don't think he had a chance, and it was a loose ball. He fumbled the football.
Ken, the flag was thrown before the pass was thrown.
Here's
he's looking away.
He loses the football, and as he picks it up, the flag was already thrown. It wasn't on the passer.
The first flag may have been marking the fumble.
Good call by our producer in the truck.
All right, so
he
first
was
down
the
via penalty for Liberty County.
So J.J. Grant going to the right, and a ball that should have been caught. That's the guy they've been trying to get involved. Jeremy Caldwell-Fabregas in and out of his hands.
You just said that, kid. Get the ball to Fabregas, and they tried to, but he couldn't hang on to it. Good throw there by Grant, though.
Yeah, good throw right across the middle. You got to catch that football and come up with it, and that would have given him moved the chains. I've been ordered by our producer in the truck. Give a call out to his dad. No, Dad's part of the team. Dan Flaxer is our producer, director, doing a great job inside the truck. His dad's here in town, checking things out from the truck, watching over his kid. As we go back to action.
5 wide here for Liberty County. They might be trying to throw it around a little bit.
Quick jump by J.J. Grant, and the hole was closed quickly. Looked open, big 91 for Statesboro jumping on that quickly. That is Arterius Jackson with the stop. And now they're at a 2nd and 9, I believe. 3rd and 9, excuse me.
That was a different formation than we've seen from Liberty County all night. They got out there with 5 wide. Ended up running a draw play, but we'll see if they're going to try to mix it up with different formations to be a little more creative to confuse Statesboro's swarming defense.
Well, you called it. Raekwon McMillan's in the lineup. We'll see how much he goes, but he came out on the field. J.J. Grant, in fact, Raekwon McMillan, a split far to the right. J.J. Fabregas out there as well. Quick throw out to the right-hand side. That's D.J. Bratcher, nowhere to go. Stuffed up by 3 Statesboro Blue Devils. 98 finishing things off. Lex Womack, we talked about him at the beginning of the game, shoving it, and that just didn't look right from the start after the losing the football from the snap.
That's the same play they ran on the very first play of the game, offensive play of the game, Ken, and they were going to use McMillan to block for him. They couldn't get it out there quick enough. Statesboro shut it down immediately. Here's a problem area for Liberty County. Look out for putting pressure on this punter.
4th and 10. Corey Lazenby again back to punt. He's been busy today. Lazenby gets it off just in time, across the 45-yard line. That's where it's going to stop and down, right on the 45-yard line. So we have 10-13 left to go in the third quarter play. Statesboro now with good field position again.
That's not at all what Liberty County want to do. They got a break on a first down on a questionable roughing the passer call. Couldn't do anything with it. One of their best players dropped the pass over the middle. Let's see if the defense can continue to hold Statesboro in check.
We have not yet seen Statesboro really break out. We saw one decent run by Daquan Daniels. Here's a step left, real quick toss out there. Was that Murphy? Yeah, Daniel Murphy around the left-hand side with, well, 4, 5, 6 yards.
And Murphy's gotten the bulk of the carries. Daquan Daniel has the bulk of the yards, but Murphy really has gotten most of the carries tonight for the Statesboro offense.
That's what that wishbone does. You get those 2 blockers out front, you just follow him around, and you get 4 or 5 yards on the wishbone, you know, you're in good shape, especially when you have a second manageable.
It's almost like a team rush. It's like guys dragging guys forward.
Sure is. Back in the wishbone again. Now they split wide, left and right.
That's the Georgia Southern flex bone.
Chance up the middle. 38 for Statesboro. That was Jim Kapotic on the drive, brought down immediately, but it'll be close to a first down. Where exactly is the ball marked?
They're going to put it down on what looks like about the 46. It's going to be awfully close to a first down. Inside the 46, they got to get just to the 45. 3rd and maybe 3 inches.
Here you talked about the quarterback, Colin Chance, going all the way to the sidelines, getting the call all the way back out. The linebacker mentality gets his workout.
That was that linebacker mentality, man. He was looking to hit somebody.
Chance straight up the middle and just across. He got dumped quickly, but I believe Daniel Murphy got just enough to get the first down for Statesboro.
That may have been Raekwon McMillan that picked him up and threw him that extra inch.
Threw him the wrong way.
He threw him the wrong way.
Yeah, it did, because he got right across the line.
This is classic Statesboro football. 3 plays, 3.5 yards each play. That's a first down. We move the chains. We go again. This is exactly what Pennington wants. As the clock runs, still got the lead. You're in Liberty County territory. This is what Pennington loves to see.
So it's the wishbone and the quick handoff off the right-hand side. The speed trying to get across. Daquan Brunson, we hadn't seen him since the first quarter with a carry. But nowhere to go on Brunson. They closed the line pretty quick.
Still, though, they got the requisite. They got the number, 3.5 yards. They moved it a little bit. Get another 3, 4 here, another 3, 4 the next time, and all of a sudden it's the end of the third quarter and you're in scoring territory.
Kenny Tucker, the offensive coordinator, has worked many years alongside Steve Pennington, and he stays active. You know, he, like we said, Colin Chance comes in and takes the call from Kenny Tucker each and every time, and they continue to fine-tune. It's an offense that's meticulous. Bad snap, can't hand by Chance, but dropped on well back beyond the 50-yard line.
Roderick Rawls just made a huge play by saving that fumble. Boy, that's exactly what Liberty County needed as the ball goes way over Chance's head. Maybe a late hit here coming in from Liberty County, but no flag, and we'll play on.
It was close. He was shielded away from the ball, and he didn't hit the guy with the ball, but that one has a fumble, but a non-turnover fumble, which is key, the turnover ratio. As
beautiful as the first part of that drive was, how frustrated is Pennington now? He was doing exactly what he wanted to do, and now we're back in a very unmanageable situation. 3rd and close to 30.
3rd down, Colin Chance straight drop back, being chased quickly. Chance slips around. Now he's all the way back to his own 30-yard line. All kinds of time. Chance throws long to the right-hand side and falls incomplete. He ran around about 30 yards on the play.
Number 6, Sam Kapotic, was out there actually open, but Chance just could not quite get away from Liberty County's number 57, Antoine Davis, in time. Davis causes just enough disruption here.
Nice move right there. Nice move to get out of that right there. He's all the way back to the 30. And this is not the offense quickly that Coach wanted to see.
That was the antithesis of Statesboro offense.
So Liberty County hanging around. DJ Bratcher calls a fair catch on the 22-yard line. We're down to 6:48 left to go in the third quarter play. Still have the same score, 6-0.
Needed to make a big play. A big play was made for them by the Statesboro mistake, and they took advantage of it, stopped them on 3rd and long. And now you've got another chance. It's time for the offense to find a way to move the ball against this stingy Statesboro defense.
We're going to take a timeout, a commercial timeout here in the third quarter. Right now, the Statesboro Blue Devils up 6-0 over the Liberty County Panthers. We will be right back on the Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week, brought to you by Ford. Go further.
The Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week is brought to you by Ford. Go further.
It's an absolutely picture-perfect evening here in the borough, Statesboro, Georgia. Stephen Weeks along with Ken Slatz calling the action from the Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week. Statesboro with a 6-0 lead over Liberty County. Right to the action. J.J. Grant in the backfield at quarterback, inside hand. Nope, he keeps it, fakes, rolls around to his right-hand side, looking long, and throws it right into the hands of the defender. That's 36 for Statesboro, and that's Tim Key with the interception, and there's your turnover ratio. Statesboro with the football and just an ill-advised pass in heavy traffic down the middle.
Had a man running wide open, long, and didn't see him, tried to throw it over the middle of the field. A second big play for Key. Key had a big sack earlier. Now picks up an interception, and now, I don't know, Liberty County's really going to have to rise up on defense.
I think that's the first really major mistake right now. You give Statesboro the football, they've run the clock down, we're under 6 minutes, and they have the football, running the option right back at it once again. Inside handoff for Statesboro. And
number 2, Sharodrick Rawls, who had our touchdown, our only score of the game. He scored it earlier. I don't know if we're going to see Statesboro get back in that shotgun again after the bad snap. We may just see even more conservative offense out of the Blue Devils, Ken.
So Statesboro, we see Daquan Daniels on the field. We'll see if he'll get some handoffs as well as they mix it up. We've been told by a great stat guy, Joseph, telling us that they used 7 running backs so far, and I believe it. Handoff up the middle. Daquan Daniels trying to find some daylight, but the hole was stuffed up pretty quickly. Gain of a couple or a few on the play.
You know, interestingly, Liberty County comes in here 5-1. They've only beaten teams with losing records. The teams they've beaten have an aggregate record of 6-25-1. They played one team, Appleton County, with a winning record and got it handed to them a little bit. So Liberty County right now in a place where they're going to have to dig deep and find something to stay in this ball game.
Yeah, they beat Bradwell to open up the season and then lost to Appleton County in the second week of the season for their only loss of the season. Handoff straight up the middle. There's Daniel Murphy again, the workhorse, straight up the middle. Referee calls to move the chains, so a first down for Statesboro. They came back and shut out Johnson in game 3 as you watch the replay.
Murphy just powers up through the middle, Ken, and that's what that seems to be his role in this football team. Take a handoff, hit the hole, get that 4 yards, get up, let's run it again. Keep running that clock down to 5 minutes and 10 seconds.
Can't say enough about Kwasi Murphy just drilling holes. Kwasi, big guy in the middle, making room and stood up. Is that Bratcher?
Number 27 with his first carry of the night. Number 27, Akari Williams.
And big 57 on the tackle. That was Antoine Davis making the stop, the junior defensive lineman. But
Davis has played a heck of a ball game so far. He's got a couple big tackles and a sack. Now this is what Liberty County did the last time Statesboro got down there after the touchdown. They held them. They managed to push them back a little bit. Let's see if they can do it again. This defense is really carrying the team right now, Ken.
Been out on the field for a long time. We're inside maybe the 22-yard line, 23-yard line. Hand off to the left-hand side and flipped is Daniel Murphy. Trying to check. Was that Raekwon McMillan flipping him over?
That was actually Lazenby, who's the punter.
Yeah, dumped him right on his head.
Told you that guy was a good athlete, kid.
Athletic punts and athletic defensive moves. We haven't seen an athletic offensive move yet.
Maybe that was WWF.
Maybe they'll give him the football next time down the field.
See if Lazenby comes off the top rope next time.
We've eclipsed the 4-minute mark. We're down to 3:59 and counting. Statesboro with the football. Colin Chance rolling around to his left. Fake, he's going to keep it. Running to the outside, cuts up and gets inside the 10-yard line. A first down, first and goal for Statesboro.
There's that quarterback looking for a hit, looking for contact. Again, this Statesboro looks like they're doing exactly what Coach Pennington would want them to do. As Chance gets around the outside, he's got the option to throw or pass. He did look like he had a receiver open, chose to pull it down, go ahead and try to get that first down on his own. Lays a hit right here at the end on that's Raycon bringing him down.
Yeah, Raquan McMillan on the tackle, but not after Colin Chance already made some moves and got some good yardage. So they're inside around the 11-yard, actually. Yeah, right about the 11, I think it's marked. Flip over the right-hand side. Daquan Daniels trying to get to the outside. Good containment, but he broke a tackle and takes it all the way down to the 1. They kept him inside, and he broke a tackle, though.
Hey, hit the B button there, kid. Spun around, got down to the 1-yard line. Got to call that man Xbox.
Right there was good defense. I mean, they kept him in and just missed the tackle. And Raquan McMillan finally brings him down, but not till he gets to the 2-yard line. They can't get a first inside, but Daniels again around the right-hand side. Nowhere to go that time. Just stuffed immediately by 3 defenders.
Panthers got in there really quickly and early, overpowered the Statesboro offensive line, and also a flag down the other side of the field. Could be an offsides on Statesboro.
Replay first down, Hop. So, I mean,
the other way to players, but I guess that's a natural instinct.
Maybe that's how they got in there so quickly.
It was against Liberty County. Good call. Illegal participation. Let's listen in to our head referee. Nope, he's changed his mind, so we'll keep talking.
That's twice that they've got illegal participation down close to the goal line. They may have a little problem with their goal line defense getting the right guys on the field.
Okay.
Well,
back up.
All it's going to give him is half the distance of the goal, which is what, 1.5 feet?
Yeah, not much.
Actually, to be honest with you, it may give you a first down because
well, they got to get inside the 1.
Inside, yeah, they're not that close. They're close. It's just outside right the 1. It's on the 1.
First and goal from the 1-yard line.
Good eye, Ken.
There you hear it. Just enough for the first down. It was close right on the 1-yard line. So Statesboro, they could take nothing less than a touchdown right now. They have 4 shots to knock one through and punch it in to take a 12-13 or 14-0 lead over Liberty County. I'm going to guess we're going to see a dose of Daquan Daniels out of the backfield.
Mr. Daniels, Mr. Murphy, somebody I think is going to run straight over the middle here. We're going to call it. I think Liberty County might have called that timeout.
Now we have a timeout. Yes, Liberty County knows that this is big. I mean, you can't give them more than a 1-touchdown score at this point in time.
I'll tell you what, in a game like this, Ken, where Liberty County has had such a problem moving the football, getting even first downs, much less touchdowns, a 2-score lead could literally could for all intents and purposes end the game.
The Friday Night Blitz is tomorrow at 11:15 on WSAV TV, and week number 8. We're here already. In fact, we're downhill toward the end of the season, but it's been an incredible season so far. Games from all across the area, and Jenkins County coming to town to take on Savannah Country Day. Savannah Christian and Calvary, probably one of the bigger games. That'll be the premier matchup on our Blitz, so what a great game that always is every year.
You know, as my grandfather, who is a founder of Savannah Christian, would say, they care.
They do care. There's no doubt about that.
Those 2 teams care.
Yeah, Richmond Hill's at Effingham County. You know, we'll see if Richmond Hill can still roll. They're undefeated, and they're 5-0, and they're looking to knock off Effingham County in rebel territory. The Kings Academy, a school out of Charleston area, going to take on Hilton Head Prep. And but right now we got I'm not going to use the cliche. I'm not going to say barn burner. I was going to say that. No, we're not going to do it. Nice end zone view right there as Statesboro has 4 shots. 4 shots to go a yard and pop up at least 6 more on the board. And the first one is straight ahead. And actually, no, that's not Daquan. That's Daniel Murphy, who they've gone to just as much or more than Daquan Daniels. So Daniel Murphy's in from 1 yard.
Great to see Murphy get the touchdown after having the bulk of the carries tonight. He's really carried the load for the Blue Devils, and he took a pop. He absolutely got popped, and I think the man who hit him looks like he might be down, number 55 for Liberty County. Tayshawn Walls looks like the guy hurt. Great run, great second effort. by Daniel Murphy to get into the end zone. And you saw Colin Chance, the emotional leader for the offense, celebrating immediately, fists pump in the air, went and picked up his running back after the touchdown.
That's a big touchdown, too, giving them a 12-0 lead, which means Liberty County's going to have to spread things out even more to try and put more on. So we see Colin Chance is out on the field.
They're going to go for 2.
So they're going to try and make it a 14-0 game here with 2.5 left to go. I do know Colin Chance is the holder, and it looks like, yes, he's going to hold the football.
They're going to kick it, I guess.
So it is George Hill going to try and tack on the extra point. He missed one earlier in the game. Also missed a field goal.
Missed it wide right, I think, on the extra point earlier.
So it's George Hill to tack on 1 point and make it a 13-0 game. This one's up, plenty of foot, and down the middle, and it's good. So it's 13-0. Statesboro.
That was a symmetric kick, man. That was right down the middle. Split the uprights. That could be, I got to tell you, Ken, you hate to call a game early, but that seems like an insurmountable lead given the struggles of the Liberty County offense through the first 2.5 quarters.
Well, Coach said the main thing is we can't let up the big play, and right now Liberty County needs a big play. If they're going to get back into this thing at all, they need a big play. They need to find somebody. They had the pass earlier in the first drive of the second quarter. Caldwell Fabregas was open, dropped the football. You talked about trying to get Daquan McMillan, but he's more of a north-south runner. You need an east-to-west guy to try and open things up a little bit and beat these guys to the outside.
That's a great point, Ken. I'll tell you, if they could stretch out this Statesboro defense a little bit, they're so packed in the middle, waiting on those dive plays, waiting on those corner runs. If they could stretch them out a little bit, get some space and some separation, they've got the athletes, obviously, to go down the field with Bratcher and Williams and their other great athletes.
We'll see how deep that George Hill can kick this, because I know DJ Bratcher is just wanting to field this punt and try and make a kick at it. And there is DJ Bratcher standing on his own 3-yard line. The last one he was a yard deep into the end zone, and I can guess he's going to try and kick that one out of the end zone as well. It's up, it's straight down the middle. Bratcher's going to have a chance at it. Field it from the 2-yard line. And here goes DJ Bratcher past the 15 to the 20. And could this be the big play? 25, 30, 35, all the way out to the 39-yard line. So DJ Bratcher taking it to the final line of defense puts him in good field position.
Well, that's exactly what they needed. We said earlier, Bratcher's got so much athletic ability and speed and lateral quickness. He jumped around 2 guys and came straight up the field, ran through a tackle, and gave him great field position. Let's see if they go back to that 5-wide spread thing. Maybe spread this defense out, try to get some separation.
Lex Womack for Statesboro making that tackle, which would have been a 6 if he didn't come by and make the tackle. So here we go with Liberty County.
Sort of a pistol formation.
Handoff around the right-hand side. That's Prentice.
It's going to be awfully tough to run right into the teeth of this huge Statesboro offensive line with Arterius Jackson and Jesse Tarver.
I'm sorry, Trentus Williams. That was Trentus Williams, my bad.
You got Arterius in there and linebackers getting in there. They just swarm to the ball so quickly, Ken. It's going to be very hard to run into the teeth of that defense.
You know, we talked about it so many times, discipline is the word that fits this program like a glove, and that's what it's always has been, and that's what it always will be under, head coach Steve Pennington. He runs a great ship, he runs a program, and they know where their assignments are, and they're there at their assignments. There's no excuse. They make them.
Absolutely. Trickeration here.
Around the left-hand side, trying to get Jeremy Caldwell Fabregas into the offense, and that was snuffed out pretty quickly. J.J. Grant hands it off to Caldwell Fabregas, but he's stuffed quickly.
And you just called it. They stayed at home just like they're supposed to, just like they're taught in practice. Andrew Taylor's waiting on that play to come to him.
That's what film will do for you, Steven. Watch film, know what they're going to throw at you, and not be surprised. And you better believe that this crew is not surprised.
The problem I found with watching film is they never gave us any popcorn. There was nothing to eat, no snacks, nothing. I just kind of fell asleep during film stuff.
Well, we got a sandwich here for you, so if you get hungry, let us know. So it's J.J. Grant out of the shotgun. Now it's 3rd and long. Grant going long down the middle, playing center field. Nice haul down by Jeremy Caldwell Fabregas. Move the chains, and what a big play. Caldwell Fabregas just went up and got that.
In the middle of 3 Statesboro defenders. Great, brave throw here. Courageous throw here.
One of the DBs was just playing center field, waiting for the football for Statesboro, and he didn't attack it. Right there, big number 20, is that 23 for Statesboro? Was just kind of waiting on it.
Looked
Josh
like,
Smith, and he didn't attack.
Looked like Taylor was back there too and at safety and just didn't quite step up into it. Huge play for the Panthers. Let's see if they can capitalize.
J.J. Grant standing right next to him, Raekwon McMillan. McMillan's got the football and powers forward for 3, possibly 4 yard. Now it's going to stand right around 3, but he was standing right next to J.J. Grant. At first I thought they were going to snap it to him, but it went to Grant right off to, and I like the move. You got a player that carries you on defense, obviously, and he can carry on offense. Unfortunately, you're in a situation where you're not at a goal line type situation. You need to eat up more than 2-3 yards each time, as we're down to 11 seconds left in the third quarter of play. So we're counting down. We'll see if they can get one more play off. Clock is running down to 5-4, and it looks like J.J. Grant's going to call the snap. J.J. Grant, straight drop back. Plenty of time to throw. Rolls to his right, fires it across the middle, and ball is down right after the clock strikes 0.
Joe Corliss just about picked that off, and I think had he done it, Ken, he could have taken it to the house.
So that'll do it. We are at 13-0 right now. Statesboro leads Liberty County. We're going to head to the fourth quarter of the Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week, brought to you by Ford. Go further.
You're watching the Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week, brought to you by Ford. Go further.
Welcome back to the Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week. Right to the action. Liberty County throwing the ball toward the end zone, throwing it a little bit too deep, and that's an interception. Statesboro coming up with the pick. Ben Roberts making the interception, and another mistake for Liberty County will give the ball right back to the Statesboro Blue Devils as we start the fourth quarter of play on the Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week.
Senior leader Ben Roberts in the secondary, that's a guy that Coach Pennington speaks very highly of and in terms of how he marshals his troops together. You know, we were saying coming out of the break that might be 4-down territory, but they didn't get to 4th down because another big mistake. That's 3 turnovers for the Panthers now.
You know, that one isn't as damaging as something at midfield or in your own field. It's almost like a punt. Again, though, your defense has to come up big, and if they can come up big, flip that field to try and get some points. So that one's not as damaging as if you're standing at your own 10 or 15 throwing the ball.
You let Statesboro go 96 yards, and the bus is going to start.
Colin Chance running out of the offense and handing it straight up the middle. Was it 27?
Was 27.
Akari Williams we see for the first time with the football out of the backfield.
They do have just a stable of running backs, Ken.
Yeah, that's a good word for it, a stable. That'd be the 8th, I believe, that we've seen take handoffs for Statesboro High School. Gain of 3 yards they give him on the scoreboard, so Colin Chance trots back out to his huddle.
And they all run hard, and they all run north and south. Nobody's running side to side here. They're all running north and south.
You got it.
Back in that wishbone. That's the bread and butter.
So it's Statesboro with a handoff straight up the middle. Gain of maybe 3 more yards at the most, so it's going to be 3rd and, a chance for Liberty County to come up with one big play and flip the field.
There's number 4, Daquan Brunson. He's got a few carries tonight. Again, a north and south run into a manageable 3rd down and 3 or 2, maybe 2.5. Statesboro taking all the time they want to as that clock continues to run now, getting close to 10.5 minutes left in the ballgame.
Colin Chance quickly calls the play, and they break huddle. Wishbone offense all set up, 3 in the backfield. Now they adjust, including Daquan Daniels on the near side. Handoff is up the middle, and Raekwon McMillan said, you're not going nowhere. Raekwon stuffing the runner immediately. That was
very little
Anthony
chance
Curtis, I believe, with the football. Is that correct, 30?
No chance at all to move forward.
We talked about one big defensive stop, and this is the one they got. If they can get, DJ Bratcher's going to line up around the 50, I bet. He's still trotting back there, getting ready to try and field this punt. He wants a chance at it, and they're punting not quite from the end zone, but close to it.
And we talked about special teams. Liberty County's had some special teams errors. Let's see if Statesboro can, Liberty County can reverse it. Oh, great punt.
Great punt all the way to the 30. It'll land right around the 28, 29-yard line. So what a great punt. In fact, DJ Bratcher turned around like a center fielder saying, that's a home run. There's no sense of running after it.
And that's the thing. Statesboro tonight maybe hasn't played their best game, Ken. but they've just made the plays when they had to, just like that. They had to have a nice punt to get it out of their own territory. Boom, big punt.
I think Coach Pennington, in sitting down and talking with him, he knows how explosive this Liberty County team can be. It's not a team you want to take chances with. It's a team you want to grind out and control the football, and that's exactly what they've done. And, you know, J.J. Grant, he keeps trotting out, though, and he's got another shot. I mean, there's no doubt they just need to put some points on the board quickly. They need to find a way to get the ball in the red zone, which they haven't been able to do.
I think inevitably they may have to throw the football. I just don't see how they're going to run into the teeth of a very, very formidable Statesboro defense.
So it's J.J. Grant starting from the 29. Nice play fake. Keeps the football himself and has some room to the near side. He's going to trot out of bounds, maybe a gain of 3.
Yeah, not much room to run there for Grant. He made a great decision not to throw it downfield as he did a couple series before and got an interception.
So people I'd like to thank our producer, director in the booth, Dan Flax, for doing a great job with the Thursday Night Blitz game of the week. Jerry Perlman's our setup guy, man. He just comes here early in the morning at each football stadium. He sets up all our equipment and gets things running flawlessly. Scott Maley's up on the roof, our production guy, running a camera tonight for WSAV TV. Mike Todd's our great audio guy. Chris Murray running a camera from the field. Tony Ruff is in the studio, making sure everything goes across the way. Michelle Purrington is our red hat lady out on the field. And Final Cut Productions doing a great job supplying us with several other employees. There goes Fabregas off the left-hand side, trying to break through, does slip one tackle and gets all the way to the 34-yard line of play. And as I said, Joseph Akins with the stats, Michael Heiser and his crew over at Final Cut Productions, and our set truck operators, Greg and Drew. Man, I got to talk to my producer, though. He screams in my ear all the time. My goodness, he screams in my ear. Greg and Drew in the truck, our set truck operators, doing a fine job here from Statesboro. And we've talked about it. In 2 weeks, we'll be in Claxton. Forget another. Hey, a big surprise, too. We've added a game. We announced it today. Savannah Country Day is going to host Savannah Christian on November 1st. That was a game scheduled for November 2nd. That'll be now a November 1st game. We added a game to our Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week lineup. That is Savannah Christian at Savannah Country Day. Should be a great game at Saunders Field on November 1st. Back to action.
Huge third down.
13-0, and J.J. Grant scrambling around, finding time, and J.J. Grant, he almost fell on his ankle and slipped, throws the ball into the middle of the field, trying to get it to 28, and that was Cornelius Butler, but nowhere to go. And if he didn't get rid of that football, that was a loss of 30.
You know, with 8:24 left to play in the game, down 13-0, that was a huge third down, attempted conversion. They were aggressive. They called a pass play, but Statesboro's entire defensive line was in the backfield really before Grant had a chance to look downfield.
So Corey Lazenby, who has been a very busy player out on the field again to punt the football.
And has done a heck of a job. I know he got one tipped, but he's actually been able to get punts off in the face of pressure and change field position several times. He may be their MVP right now.
So the snap is good and the kick is good. No pressure whatsoever by Statesboro. They try and set up a return. Fair catch is called, so Statesboro will start the football again on the 37-yard line of play. We're down to 8:15 left in a game that's rapidly moving. A ball control offense on Statesboro's side. Liberty County somewhat of ball control showing throughout the first half tonight, but trying to open things up a little bit more. But the defense, I don't really have a time of possession, but the defense for Liberty County has been on that field for a long time, Stephen.
Yeah, that Statesboro defense, Ken, is so demoralizing. The kids have got to feel like we can't go anywhere. There's just a brick wall in front of us. We can't move forward. Meanwhile, Statesboro's offense just running clock, get a couple first downs. Not going to take any chances here.
Daquan Daniels, great spin move by Daquan. Finally, Bratcher makes the tackle, but he spun to avoid one tackle and turned a -1 into a 3-yard gain.
Had to shake and bake. Daniels does appear to have a totally different speed than everybody else on the Statesboro offense. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen him carry the ball a little bit more in terms of he's the only game breaker they seem to have.
This one going to the right-hand side, and it's 48 for Liberty County. Quickly into the backfield, Greg Roman, and he said no way, making the big stop on Daquan Brunson.
You know, it hasn't just been McMillan out there on the defense for Liberty County as they've held the Statesboro offense down. It's been a total team effort by Liberty County to keep their team in the game. Now, they're still down 2 scores, but they're still out of the game, and that is because the defense has played well. Sorry, go ahead.
Coach Warner coming in with a good game plan, and he's doing a good game plan. The problem is he needed to get some points on the board, and that's not always the game plan, obvious there. But defensively, they've done a good job of keeping Statesboro contained. But when you get that many chances, quick pass out to the left-hand side, stuffed almost immediately. So, again, we're going to have a 4th down and a punt situation for Statesboro.
Well, we saw Colin Chance throw the ball 8 times in the first half. I think that's his first pass of the second half. It looks like Coach Pennington's going to go back to what Statesboro fundamentally does, and that's eat up time, play defense, play field position, and it's obviously working here as we wind down under 6.5 minutes to play in the game with a 13-0 lead.
Bratcher deep for Liberty County, hoping to get another chance. He had a nice return on the kickoff in the 3rd quarter of play. He's going to have another chance here. Kick deep, and he's no fair catch all. He's going to try and, he's going to let it bounce at the 5, and it bounces into the end zone.
Flags everywhere. Flags everywhere after that punt.
We'll see if we have a re-kick. Illegal procedure. So still have him re-kick because that ball went into the end zone. Instead of giving it from the 20, I think they're going to take another shot at Evan Bratcher trying to return it. Let's listen in on the call.
We have an illegal formation on the offense. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 5, play, 4th down.
Uncharacteristic mistakes out of the Statesboro Blue Devils. Coach Pennington's not going to like that.
Another team that's done a phenomenal job, Ronnie Coleman and his officiating crew. They've been on top of everything today. They've done a phenomenal job.
George Hill's got a big leg, but he got a big punt off there. If he doesn't get another one off, Bratcher may have a chance to do something.
Bratcher standing on his 19-yard line, hoping to get a chance at a return here. No fair try. He's going to call the fair catch call at the last minute. He catches at the 20, which is right where we would have started anyways. All right, we're going to take a commercial timeout here. We need to take a break here with 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter play. Statesboro on top, 13-0. You're watching the WSAV MyLC Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week, brought to you by Ford. Go further.
You're watching the Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week, brought to you by Ford. Go further.
Welcome back to the Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week. We're in the 4th quarter play, 6:03 left, 13-0 Statesboro with a lead over Liberty County. Here comes the Panthers, J.J. Grant with the football rolling to his left, still rolling to his left, looking down the field and into the hands of another defender, and that's an interception, and Statesboro's going to get the ball back on one play.
I think that's Carl Moore who picks up the interception. Of course, Carl caused a fumble in the first half with a big hit, grabs the interception here, and I got to tell you, that feels like maybe too much for Liberty County at this point.
Yeah, they've had their chances, a couple interceptions and a fumble, and they've just been sloppy. And I think the first thing that Coach said, we heard about it in our Honda keys to the game, control the turnovers, and they just didn't control the turnovers. And once again, turning the ball over to Statesboro, this time in very good territory at the 29-yard line.
First down to the 29.
Handoff straight up the middle. Gain of about 6 yards for Statesboro. Moving the not quite moving the chains, but moving the clock is more important.
So what we said turnovers and special teams. You've got a block punt, and then you've got 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions out of J.J. Grant. But that interception is more about nobody being open. He just had to get rid of the football, trying to make something happen. Daniels took it down to the 24. We're going to have like 2nd and 4, maybe just under 4 yards for first down.
2nd and 4, the wishbone for Colin Chance, giving it to Daquan Daniels, straight up the middle with a big hole. Takes it down inside the 20 to around maybe quite almost to the 15-yard line. They'll stop the clock just for a brief moment. They'll move the chains in the first down for Statesboro.
Yeah, Coach Pennington's got to love this kind of boring football game. Just back and forth, back and forth. We're up by 13, 5 minutes to play, back and forth.
What was the word we used at the beginning, monotonous?
Monotonous. It's like a tennis match. Watching trains go back in.
It's the way they play football in Statesboro, and it's gotten them a state championship a few years back. Handoff and Daquan, no, it wasn't to Daquan Daniels. That was again to the workhorse who scored the touchdown, Daniel Murphy. They mix it up good. They keep us on our toes, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you have to be ready to look at each of these running backs for what they bring to the table. All of them bring something a little different. Obviously, Daniels brings a little shake and bake. Murphy's a stronger runner. Number 2, Sharadrick Ross has a little bit of both. He can shake and he can run up the middle with some power.
So it's now 2nd and 8, but the most important thing for Statesboro is we're down to 4.5 minutes of play. Once again, 2-4. Once again, Daniel Murphy on the right-hand side of that wishbone. And Murphy kind of plows forward for several yards. He's going to be about 4 yards short of the first.
And big Quasi Murphy down there clearing out some space, clearing out some land for Daniel Murphy to run through. And it looks like Statesboro's offensive line has finally worn down that Liberty County defense that's been on the field all night long.
Yeah, when you have, they threw an interception on the first pass and your defense going right back out on the field. So will it be Daniel Murphy once again, or will it be Daquan Daniels, or will it be a timeout by Liberty County? That's exactly what it's going to be, a timeout by Liberty County. We're going to keep it right here and talk about what's coming up on the Thursday Night Blitz game of the week. In 2 weeks, we're going to head out to the Pecan Grove. That's in Claxton, Georgia, as we see Claxton take on the Calvary Day Cavaliers, and a team that's undefeated. And of course, they have a tough one coming up this weekend, but in 2 weeks, we'll see them against Claxton, a great place to play. And as you said, always a great rivalry, too, that they form between a public school and private school.
Tough place to play. Claxton's a little ways up the road, and their fans will be there in force. They've always got good athletes at Claxton, and that's not an easy trip to make on a Friday night.
You get to some of these
Thursday night in this
Thursday
case.
Night, yeah,
Sorry.
Thursday night Blitz game of the week. You go to some of these places that we don't get to see a whole lot, and some of these places are great atmospheres, a great place to play, and that's why it's hard for teams to come in and come up with a road win.
And Claxton's one of those places that shuts down for the football game, man.
Claxton Town, you're right, shut down. The few cops in the town will be there watching things just like we will, and hopefully you'll join us on MyLC to watch the game as well. Claxton, Metter, Vidalia, those places, everything closes at 5 on Friday afternoon. Let's go watch football. So here's what we face here in the game. Right now it's 3rd and 2. They're about to snap the football for you. Colin Chance with the wishbone behind him. He's changing things up a little bit. He's moving Daquan Daniels off the wishbone over to the right side. Chance gives it to 30, who is instantly brought down. That was Anthony Curtis. There's a flag down, Kevin. Nowhere to go, but there is dirty laundry on the field. They managed to neutralize Raekwon McMillan here in the second half. He's had a couple of outstanding individual plays, but really has not dominated this football game as we thought he could. Prior to the snap, dead ball, illegal substitution, 12 men in the lineup on the defense. It's going to be half the distance to the goal, still 3rd down. That's the 3rd time Liberty County has been penalized for an illegal substitution in the red zone, and this time I think it's probably you can hear the bus starting in the background. The fatigue that's setting in. Turning the key over. That'll give him a 1st down too, and it'll be 1st and goal, Statesboro. That is correct. 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. I think we'll see a dose of 3 running plays if they don't get it in earlier than 3. Maybe 4. Well, they got a good field goal kicker too. I think they'd go up 16-0 on a field goal, but we got another new running back in the game, number 30, Anthony Curtis. Handoff and stuffed immediately. Caldwell Fabregas said, Daquan Daniels, you're not getting in on this run. You might get in on the next one, but you're not getting on this one. Stuffs him quickly. Loss of a yard or 2. Well, the guy that gets all the coverage and the guy that gets all the attention is Mr. McMillan, and certainly he's due that attention. But tonight, Caldwell Fabregas has really played an excellent football game. He's been everywhere for the Liberty County defense. He's really almost single-handedly held Statesboro in check. So we'll try it again. 2nd down. Whistles blowing from the 6 or 7-yard line of plays. Another timeout for Liberty County as we're under 3 minutes of play. We're at 2:49, so they burn yet another timeout. It's been fun, Steven. Thanks for coming by and joining us. It's been a great time. We've seen a good football game, real defensive, real old-style, Statesboro-style football. You know, I've over the last 15 years, Ken, I've seen just about every style of football game that you can imagine. But I'll tell you, is there such a thing as an anticlimactic win? Hey, in Statesboro, they'll take a win any way they can, and they're going to take one tonight, especially if they punch this thing in from the 7-yard line. Hey, we're partners with the Prep Sports Report. Dean Mesh now, the publisher, the editor of the Prep Sports Report. Carl DeMasi started this up. Great magazine in the Savannah area, highlighting, you see football right there, but not only football, we got the winter season coming out with basketball and volleyball still going on, and softball's going on, and all kinds of sports, and they do a great job there at the Prep Sports Report and bringing us all our local athletes in-depth stories.
Dean's a good friend of mine, does a great job with the Prep Sports Report. That thing gets better and better every year. Thank you to Carl for starting that thing. We needed it a long time ago, and Carl got it going and held it together with duct tape and twine for a little while.
You know, and of course Carl would have kept holding it on, but we're going to see him as a football coach. You know, he's now the coach over at Islands High School, starting a program, which has got to be rewarding to really start a program to see what they can build. Back to the action. Colin Chance rolling out to throw the football. He's looking long, throwing it into the end zone, picked off and dropped. That was Liberty County's chance. The ball was popped up. It looked like Caldwell Fabregas, I believe, was going to come down with the football 45, but it drops. And what a break for Statesboro there on a surprise call.
Let me tell you, call me flabbergasted. I cannot believe that they threw the football this late in the game.
And threw it into trouble, which is uncharacteristic for Statesboro.
I'm surprised at the play call. I'm surprised at the execution of the play. That's just un-Statesboro-like.
It was actually Rashawn Harris that almost came down with the football. He kind of clashed with Caldwell Fabregas. So it's 3rd and 7. They still held 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line and back in the wishbone.
Go out on a limb here and say we're not going to see another pass.
Fake, there you go. Oh, this time you're right. Colin Chance keeps it wide open into the end zone for a touchdown. Statesboro tacks on 6 more. Colin Chance keeps it himself after a nice play fake, and it's a 7-yard touchdown run, and that about is going to do it.
Statesboro must work on their ballroom dance and watch the spin move out of Colin Chance as he gets across the line of scrimmage, spins out of a tackle attempt by number 24, Horan Chapman of Liberty County, stretches for the goal line and puts the game completely out of reach once and for all.
So it's 19-0. We have 2:31 left. George Hill on to kick the extra point and make it a 20-0 game.
Ken, how do you feel if you're Liberty County after this game? I think you competed. You certainly proved that you deserve to be on the field with Statesboro, but too many mistakes, maybe not ready for the limelight?
Yeah, they definitely weren't outplayed top to bottom. You know, they played well. They just made the mistakes when they hurt them the most, and that's what Statesboro's used to. They capitalize on mistakes, and Coach said every year he's been here at Statesboro, they've won the turnover ratio, and once again, they have that turnover ratio with ease. So it is George Hill on for the extra point. Kick is up, and the kick is no good. Again, he missed 2 extra points.
That again, you know, Ken, I think that goes back to what we talked about before the game. It's a program versus a good team this year. Statesboro knows what they do, and they know what they have done for a long time. They did that tonight.
So it's 19-0. 19-0 now, and Liberty County's going to have one last chance to try and at least put some points on the board. There you see Steve Pennington, the head coach right there, giving some high fives and taking the football from the ball boy. We need that one.
I think over the course of years and years of playing in big games, Statesboro knows what to expect, knows what tension's going to be like, knows how these games are going to be played. Liberty County maybe still getting used to it as they go forward. I'm sure that coaching staff will have them in more big games with all it looks like a lot of talent on that side of the field. Well,
they breeded some talent. You know, we talked about Shadrack Thornton at halftime, what he's meant to NC State. Raquan McMillan's got another year here. They'll lose Jeremy Caldwell Fabregas. I believe J.J. Grant is we checked that. I believe J.J. Grant is a senior. Yes, he is. J.J. Grant, DJ Bratcher's a senior. So they lose some players, but it's a growing school, and it's a school right now that, you know, owns Hinesville because they're getting those bragging rights over Bradwell, who seems to be in sort of rebuilding mode themselves. But with a new football stadium, we'll see what kind of changes they may have. But Statesboro got the win, I think, that they anticipated and wanted, and they did it their way.
Yeah.
So the kick is deep. Will Bratcher get another shot? Yes, he will. Bratcher takes it and slips down. I believe his knee was down. He said no, his knee was not down, so he gets the football and crosses the 20-yard line, and that's about all, though. Maybe the 21 they'll give him.
You know, I tell you, and I know Statesboro has some tough games coming up. They've already played some tough games. Of course, they played the team that won the only team they've lost to was the team that won the AAA state championship last year, Burke County. They've got some tough games coming up. They're going to have to play South Effingham. That's a good football team. Wayne County is a dangerous football team every year. Tons of talent down in Wayne County, down in Jessup, Georgia. So, you know, I don't see a lot of teams scoring a lot of points on Statesboro. They're going to have to clean up some of the special teams errors, some of the penalties and things of that nature. I have a pretty confident feeling that Coach Pennington's going to clean that up.
J.J. Grant in the shotgun, rolling to his right and throwing it into the ground about 10 yards out.
Well, after those interceptions, kid, he's probably a little gunshot to throw it anywhere near a blue shirt.
Trying to get it out to Joey Irizarry, but not enough. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 with 2:15 now. We're going to have a post-game show here. Bring up the winning coach right now. It's looking like Steve Pennington, the head coach at Statesboro.
As much as I would like to call the greatest comeback in the history of high school sports, I think it's going to be Statesboro coach Steve Pennington up in the booth with us.
Handoff straight up the middle. Little if no gain right there. Steve Pennington will pick up his 89th win at Statesboro. He'll move to 89-19. 2001, the team was state champions. 99 and 2003.
State champions in 2005, too.
2005 under Steve Pennington. Howard Busby was the coach back in 2001. And Steve Pennington's been here since 2004. He took over after serving as head coach for 3 years at Ware, and then he was the defensive coordinator for years here at Statesboro.
Quick story about Coach Busby. That was when I was a sports writer for Savannah Morning News, and I walked on the field after a Statesboro win, and I went up to talk to Coach Busby, and he looked at me and he said, "Son, I hadn't prayed with my team yet. Stand right there." I walked over, prayed with his team, came back and did a great interview, and he was a man of a lot of integrity.
Not much has changed there, going from him to Steve Pennington. A lot of integrity, a lot of discipline, doing it the right way. And as I said, you know, Pennington spent a few years. He was at Ware County. Prior to that, he was at Appling County as a head coach. And prior to that, he was Louisville. So 25 years for Steve Pennington. He's won 181 after tonight, 182 games. Lost only 97 with 4 ties. He's in his 25th season at Statesboro. And we talk about programs. There's no doubt, no question whatsoever. This is a program and has been for some time.
You're starting to talk about Hall of Fame numbers now for Coach Pennington. He's been around a long time. He's had a ton of success. He's got a championship. He'll probably tack on another one at some point. He's one of the best around.
Trying to get Trentus Williams around the outside. Statesboro is able to keep him in. And that'll bring up 4th down. And we're down to a minute of play in the 4th quarter.
Ken, look how hard Statesboro is playing up 19-0 with a minute left in the ball game, chasing after the football, staying home with their assignments. You don't see one kid in a blue shirt celebrating or taking anything for granted.
I think these players know, too, there's a lot of sharing of playing time. So you got kids out there that don't get to play every day, and they need, if they are playing, they need to play very well at the top of the game, or they won't see time the next time. So, you know, they need to continue to do things. 4th and 14. Liberty County will punt the football, and it's a good line drive, athletic punt, all the way back to the 45-yard line.
We may have coined a new phrase tonight, Ken. We need to get that under trademark.
We're going to pick out a performance of the game when we come back, and it's looking like possibly
maybe Carl Moore from the Statesboro defense.
Yeah, he definitely led the way.
He caused 2 turnovers.
Carl Moore's a name. Colin Chance is another one that's done a great job on offense, just running this offense, continuing to run what they've done. And then, you know, Daquan Daniels really didn't get the bulk of the catches. It was 2-4, and that was Daniel Murphy who scored one of the touchdowns, and he got a lot of calls. He's another player. We'll sort things out for you and bring you the performance of the game on the Thursday Night Blitz game of the week, and that's the clock. The buzzer sounds. And there you have it, 19-0. Statesboro with a win. We're going to come back with the winning head coach. Steve Pennington will come and join us in the booth. Plus, Stephen Weeks and I will go through some of the statistics and go through a performance of the game along with a play of the game. We will be right back on the Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week, brought to you by Ford. Go further. Welcome back to the Thursday Night Blitz Game of the Week. 19-0. Statesboro High School getting the win over Liberty County here at Womack Field in Statesboro, in the borough. In Statesboro, we're glad to be here and glad to have brought the game for you today. And Stephen, it was kind of what we expected. You know, monotonous might be the word, but they grinded out a victory at Statesboro.
I think Coach Pennington might prefer methodical, mechanical, something like that. But that defense is very difficult to deal with. They're disciplined. They're smart. They know exactly what they want to do, and they really put up a brick wall the whole night.
That brings us right to our performance of the game. It's been offensive players so far on the Thursday Night Blitz game of the week, but not this time. The defense, indeed, has done a great job as we check out the Blitz performance of the game. Carl Moore leading the way with an interception and a forced fumble and a very stout defense for Statesboro.
Statesboro's defense gave up less than 100 total yards of offense tonight. That is impressive, regardless of who you're playing. Carl Moore started this game, set the tone immediately by laying a big hit on quarterback J.J. Grant from Liberty County. Then came out the second half with a game-clinching interception.
Yep, Statesboro indeed is our performance of the game. We still have the play of the game, and head coach Steve Pennington is going to join me in just a minute to talk and find out about his football team after a 19-0 win. We will be right back on the Thursday Night Blitz game of the week. Welcome back to the Borough, Womack Field in Statesboro. The Blue Devils winning 19-0 over Liberty County. Head coach Steve Pennington joining me. Coach, congratulations on a big win.
Well, it certainly was a big win, being the first ball game and our first ever Thursday night game. And I know since we've been here for 13 years, so we were certainly glad to have WSAV here. And you know, I don't know if we'll take the victory, because victories are hard to come by. Liberty County certainly gave us a great challenge tonight.
Well, it was a great football game, and I mean, it was a game that was decided in the fourth quarter, a 6-0 game. Defensively, though, your guys just did a phenomenal job just shutting down some of these athletes of Daquan McMillan and Caldwell Fabregas. You kept things contained, and you pretty much had control of this football game. Do you feel from start to finish?
Well, you know, we knew that, especially being up 6-0 at halftime, we're only one play away from being behind in the game.
Yes.
So we had to make sure we maintained our intensity, and I thought our players did a good job. We've grown defensively. I think that's 12 quarters in a row that no one scored on us.
Okay.
So we're getting better there, and if we can be opportunistic a little bit more on offense, I think that we can get a little bit better and make a good run.
Well, again, congratulations, Coach. I'll let you get back with your team. Congrats on a big win, 19-0. As we check out, stay here for just a moment. We're going to check out our play of the game, the Thursday Night Blitz play of the game, and it came and kind of shut the door. Take us through Colin Chance scoring the last touchdown.
Well, actually, this is a play right here that Colin actually improvised because the back went a little wide. And now that we saw it was pretty productive, we might put that play in. How about that?
Nice athletic spin move for a quarterback who had pretty good poise and control throughout this football game, running your wishbone offense. So there's your play of the game, brought to you by Chatham Orthopedic Associates and Memorial Health. And with that comes the end of the Thursday Night Blitz game of the week. This week, we thank you so very much for joining us. For Stephen Weeks, I'm Ken Slatz. Have a good night from the Borough.